Why does the franchise brokerage industry exist? Well, it started in the 90s and has grown both in the number of franchises that use franchise brokers and in the referral fees provided to the brokers who assist in the proper match with a brand. In the early 2000s, the average referral fee was $8,000 for a placement. Less than 20 years later, that fee has tripled. Why? Well, let's look at this from the franchise system's perspective. How valuable do you think it is for a company to have good people to grow with? How important is it for the people of a company to be aligned in intention? How critical is it for those people to work together in the mission that the brand offers? Well, every great company knows that the quality of the contributing people in the system are what make the system strong. The better quality people they can get, the more aligned they are, and the more driven they are to succeed with the business, the more powerful the system will grow. Think of it like this. A franchise system is building a forest of strong fruit-bearing trees. And it's not meant to be a single tree feeding one family, but rather a full-blown system of recurring fruit generation. It is meant to be a network that organizes forces, shields others from harm, and generates abundant production together. It can only do that with the right seeds. That means the right people are crucial for the franchise brand's ultimate performance. A franchise's function is to organize and streamline successful outcomes. They act as if they are a partner in the system, and they benefit financially if the franchise owners are doing well. If they can get high-performing franchise owners, they can essentially create a long-term partner relationship over decades that feed the entire franchise system's business and the franchise owners' businesses. They grow together and they win together. How does that work? The franchise owner pays an upfront franchise fee. Now, that fee barely covers the cost of launching that franchise owner in that first year. The true benefit of the franchise is in the ongoing long-term royalty relationship. If they can get the franchise owner performing well over the lifetime of the business, well then on scale, they can create regular, recurring, substantial income. Now, as they streamline processes and create cost improvements for the franchise owner, they also gain financially. To put this in an example, if a franchise brings in a well-performing franchise owner into that system at an 8% royalty per year, and then that franchise owner or franchisee, as we like to call them, does an average of $1 million in production each year, that means that the franchise earns $800,000 over the course of a 10-year contract. Now, that might seem like a high number to you, but you also have to take into consideration that they're kind of like a partner with a full-blown team working on the franchise owner's behalf. And so it starts to make a lot of sense for all parties. The franchise has to pay expenses out of that $800,000. They have staff, systems, programming, marketing, management, all of that. But the franchise has a model that allows the franchise system to gain on the back end, meaning that the longer and more established the local franchise is, the better they all do. Now, to get there though, the franchise has to co-invest in their franchise owners up front. The first years of the franchisee's launch aren't very profitable for the franchise system because they are investing so much in getting that new franchise owner performing and performing well. So for example, the average revenue the franchise makes from the franchise owner's partnership is about $80,000 a year. Now, that is not going to be $80,000 each year from the beginning. It starts small, maybe $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000, and then it grows over time. So in that 10th year, the franchise owner revenue might be $1.5 million, and then their royalty would be $120,000. Now, the back end is where the franchise system really starts to gain. Now, at that seasoned level of franchise ownership, the franchise contract comes up for renewal. And in most cases, the franchise owner renews for another 10-year contract, even though they are paying those fees at the higher level. So why would they do that? Well, it's because the franchise's goal becomes, how do I keep improving franchise owners' revenue and improving the operational efficiencies? And that's how everyone makes more money. Now, if the franchise owner has a partner that is helping them to make more money and more money, it's okay to pay that partner. In fact, those partners, they want to incentivize the franchise and help focus on their continued growth. And at that level, everyone wins. From the franchise owner perspective, an example would work like this. They invest, let's say, $100,000. Now they take out a loan for the rest of the investment. The business pays back the loan and their original investment. So in this example, the franchise owner earns, let's say, $200,000 on average per year over the course of the 10-year period. So the franchise owner was able to leverage their capital and use the bank's capital to finish funding. So for $100,000 in investment, they have the ability to earn $2 million. So would you take that investment? Most people would, because both parties, the franchise system and the franchise owner, are going to work and manage that asset. They're going to develop it, they're going to refine it, grow it, but both parties have the opportunity to gain substantially if they're a fit and are able to accomplish this together. The franchise knows how. They just need to find the franchise owners who have enough emotional strength, perseverance, and drive to execute the plan. And that ends up being the hard part for the franchise. They have to market to recruit high-level investors willing to invest in their own business, who have emotional strength, tenacity, perseverance, someone who can both lead and follow. They have to find people who align with their system, their values, who can follow a process, and who can get behind their brand. Now add in the hurdle that franchises typically have one thing to offer these people: their franchise. That's it. So even if the person has all of the rest of it, they may not be a match with that one franchise. And that's a hard thing for the franchise to experience. Based on this knowledge, do you think that a franchise is willing to pay a lot up front to find those people who are the right match for their system? Do you think it's worth it for them to have good partners to run the local franchises? The answer is it absolutely is.